Hey, this is Gabby Nistico, voiceover actress, voiceover coach, author, casting director, and all-around voiceover expert at large. This video is kind of a quick freebie overview of the voiceover industry. I receive hundreds of phone calls a month from aspiring voiceover actors and people that want to get into this industry and have a lot of questions about how to do it and what the right steps are and what they should and shouldn't be doing. So hopefully this will answer a lot of the questions that you have right now and help you to better determine if voiceovers are right for you. Voiceover is like anything else. If you're really truly interested in it, if you're really truly destined to do this, then you have to really know and understand how it works, what the industry is about, how to be competitive, how to sell and market yourself, how to promote yourself, what your competition is doing, and how to make yourself valuable to those who are hiring for voiceover actors on a regular basis. Total immersion is all about taking a step back initially from the endeavor of the doing of voiceover, wanting to get very hands-on with it, and instead focusing more on educating yourself, learning the ropes, learning and understanding, and researching. It's all about fact-finding initially and taking the time to really thoroughly research this. There's a variety of tools and great websites and resources that are at your disposal that, never existed in years past when people were trying to break into this industry. Voiceover Universe is an amazing website that acts as a social media for voiceover actors. And there's blogs and articles and videos, and people house their demos there, and there are chat rooms and places where voice actors commune and share ideas. And it's just that website alone, you could spend days just pouring through and gleaning and reading and finding out as much information as you can. It's such an amazing resource that, again, we just never had in years past. VoiceOver Extra is another great source. It's a little bit more news-oriented. It's not a social media by any stretch. It's very, very much a website of what's happening in the industry, what's current. It's more educationally focused. Great articles, great guest writers, voiceover coaches, and people that participate in that website. So another one that you could just get lost in for days. Just about every major social media, LinkedIn probably being the most popular for this, has different rooms and groups and little clubs online specifically for voiceover actors. So another great way to find information and feel more a part of this industry as opposed to somebody on the outside looking in, trying to figure out what's going on. Be careful that not everything talked about in newsletters and in websites and in some of these resources is going to be for beginners. There are many, many topics that are going to be over your head right now and that are meant for working professionals and people who are a little bit more advanced, but that's okay. You'll get the hang of it. You'll start to figure out and put those puzzle pieces together slowly but surely. Just take some things with a grain of salt as well. As we all know, I think not everything that's found on the web can be considered accurate or 100%. So make sure that you kind of scrutinize things and really look for the telltale signs of somebody who might be a little bit disgruntled or for a piece of information that just might be bunk. Books. It's all about more reading, more of that immersion process. There are some phenomenal and fantastic voiceover authors that are out there, and their books are literally considered to be resources and almost like Bibles for those of us who do this every single day. Only thing I'll warn about books is try to avoid biographies. Yeah, there are some really, really great stories out there about how various folks made it into this industry and how they got their career started. The problem that you find with biographies, however, is that those stories are interesting and they're entertaining because they're very, very unique. And the likelihood of that scenario ever happening again is very, very, very slim. So unfortunately, you don't necessarily get a realistic view of how to get started in the industry by modeling after someone's biography. Instead, you want to focus on the books that are more education-oriented, the how-tos, the self-study guides, etc. Without a doubt, the top of the list is James Alberger's The Art of Voice Acting. Literally, people consider it to be the industry Bible. It is the oldest book on voiceover. It is the most thorough. It is the most robust. And it is a book that is updated very, very frequently to include new information about the industry. Other authors are folks like Elaine Clark, Harlan Hogan, Pat Fraley, Rodney Salisbury, even myself. There are plenty of great authors out there whose focus is on helping to educate and helping folks to really understand how they get started in this industry, how to be successful, and also the step-by-steps to specific areas of the industry and specific goals that you might have. You have to ask yourself, is this something I really want to do? All of this reading and all of this research has one primary objective. It's to help you determine if you are willing and able to dedicate your life, your time, your money into this industry, because it's a big investment if it's not something that you're really, really passionate about and committed to. I always liken the process of starting a voiceover career like going back to college. You're talking about a 2 to 4 year investment of time and money, and you could spend as little as $5,000 or as much as $20,000 getting started. So it really is like going back to school because it is a career. If you're looking for a hobby, if you're looking for something part-time, if you're looking for something just to do because you think it would be fun, this really isn't that sort of situation. You have professional competition that will literally swallow you up because we are tenacious and we're the ones who are doing this every day professionally. We're here to make money. We're here to be successful. We're here to win it. So the hobbyists, kind of tend to fall to the wayside. There are a lot of companies out there that make really big promises and deliver absolutely nothing. In fact, they're basically scams. I don't like to name names, but it doesn't really take a lot of effort to figure out who these companies are when you see their business model. So be on the lookout. Basically, these are companies that usually offer some kind of community or adult education learning course, usually at a community college. And it's going to be about $35 to $50. And you go and you sit in a room for a few hours or half a day, and you're lectured about all of the wonders of voiceover and how amazing it is and how you can be a star and you can make $1 million. And you're really kind of painted this incredibly rosy picture about the industry. A few days after you take the class, you're going to receive a letter. Guess what? Everybody in the class receives the exact same letter. And the letter tells you that you're incredible, that you have all this raw potential, that they love you, that they think you're amazing, and that they think you're going to be a star. And you're invited to what they usually call a master class. And basically you pay all of the expenses to travel to some other location in the country. You go to a weekend intensive or a week-long intensive, and then ultimately they create a demo for you. For this, you might pay anywhere between $3,000, $5,000 and up, and it is a complete waste of time and money. These companies try to spearhead you through the business way too fast. They typically don't do a thorough job of training you, and honestly, the demos that they build are atrocious. They usually won't result in any work or get you anywhere. So the problem here is you have to be very savvy. You have to really be on the lookout for anything that just seems too good to be true, where these promises are too big. Well, like I said, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If it goes by too quickly, if you still, after completion of a course, don't feel confident and don't feel like you have all of the answers and all of the tools necessary to go out and be a voice actor, then you have to take a step back and use your common sense and go, if I'm this lacking information, then I'm probably unprepared. And this company is probably not the way to go. Is my voice good enough? Do I have what it takes? It's not about your voice. I know that that seems like a really impossible thing right now because that's probably what you've been told. Oh, you have such a great voice. You should do something with your voice. You should be on the radio. You should be in voiceovers. But it's not about your voice. See, voices are subjective. And if you really look at the industry, there are a lot of really celebrated popular, even celebrity level actors who do voiceover work who have terrible voices. Awful voices. Voices that you wouldn't want to listen to for long periods of time, and yet some of them make a fantastic living in voiceovers. So it's not about your voice. It really is about your acting skills, your marketability, your promotion abilities, your business acumen. There's so many other factors. A speech impediment, a lisp, a really heavy accent. Those are typically the things that are going to make it very difficult for someone to start a voiceover career. Yeah, you do. Speech therapists and speech coaching can help you to achieve a more neutral sound if you're suffering from a regionalism or a heavy dialect. The only way to have your voice professionally critiqued is on mic. You have to be face-to-face with a coach in a studio environment where they can have you mimic or replicate the process of what it means to actually perform a professional voiceover. And from there, they're able to see just how well prepared you are or are not to enter the field. Over a phone, about the only thing that can be critiqued for a beginner is how prepared you are to enter the field. Voiceover coaches like myself know the questions to ask to help determine how much, again, business knowledge you have currently and what your knowledge of the industry as a whole is. Other than that, performance-wise, there's not much that you can do, again, unless you're on mic. Over a telephone, we're only going to be able to assess so much because the reality is, again, we're not replicating that professional environment. We don't know what you're going to do on mic. We don't know what's going to happen when you have a piece of copy in front of you and you have to read from a piece of paper. All of those factors change things and determine them. So over a phone, again, it's just not all that accurate because you're not in that professional environment. It's sort of like someone trying to gauge your abilities in a sport or maybe gymnastics if you're not in a gym. How do you replicate that? It takes acting skills. It takes the ability to communicate thoughts, ideas, and emotions on a microphone while reading a script and ultimately sounding like you are not reading and like the words are spontaneous and they are your own. Until you're on mic with copy, we don't know for sure what's going to happen. We don't know how your reading skills, your acting abilities, and or the lack thereof in either category are going to affect your performance. More so than performance, this industry really ultimately is about being a business owner and knowing how to market yourself. I believe anyone can find a measure of success in this industry if they truly grasp sales and marketing and they understand how to sell themselves, because this is a small business. Voiceover talent find this humble, fulfilling existence by being their own boss and making and selling their product, which is their voice. If you don't know how to do that, you're going to have a very hard time, even if you're the most amazing voice actor that no one has ever heard. And that happens quite a bit in this industry. If you don't want to go into business for yourself, if you don't have the desire to own and operate a company, then this might not be for you. Agents only do so much. They assist your career. Agents, managers, producers, all of these individuals that are key players in this industry, they don't run it for you. They don't own your company. You do. And you still have to be at the helm. You have to be hands-on every single day in the running of your company. A demo is the single most important marketing tool you have. Without it, you have literally no chance of getting work and no opportunity to showcase what it is that you do and how you do it well. A voiceover demo is like a model's portfolio or book. If you don't have a demo, you aren't considered to be a professional voice actor. If you're a model and you don't have a book, it's the same thing. You don't have something to display your professionalism, your variety, your versatility, your abilities within the business. You work your butt off initially to get to the point of making your first demo. It is your greatest marketing tool. It is the thing that sets you apart, and it is the thing that allows others to know that you are, in fact, ready to work. A great demo is a professional, well-produced, well-executed, very planned process that meets or exceeds industry standards. The mistake a lot of people make in the beginning is that they go out, they buy a USB mic, they hook it up to their computer, and they read some copy, and they try to call that a demo. It's not. The name of the game in this industry is, unfortunately, you suck. You have 5 seconds or less in which to impress us when decision makers are listening to a demo. So the whole process has to be really, really, really competitive and really well executed in order for you to have a demo that's going to yield results and ultimately help to get you work. You never want to make a demo until you are absolutely 100% sure that you are ready to make one, and your coaches and peers and trusted advisors in the industry are going to help you to understand exactly when you are in fact ready. 2 years or more is typically the training time before someone makes their first demo. And it sounds like a long time, but it's not when you consider the fact that this could be the beginning of the rest of your professional life. Yes. Demos are a carton of milk. They're going to expire. They're going to go bad. And typically what happens in the beginning is you make your first demo, and you're going to get roughly a year to a year and a half from that first demo. And then you make another one. And then 2 years after that, you make another one. And that process continues pretty much throughout your entire career. It's not a one and done situation. As time goes on, you're also going to make more demos for more areas of the industry. Professional voice actors don't just have one demo. We have lots of them to meet the specific needs of different buyers. What you want to be careful of is not spending too much money on your first demo, because you want to have an eye for your return on investment, or ROI, but at the same time, you get what you pay for. So don't go with something too cheap. If you spend $100 on a demo, don't expect it to do a whole lot for you. But at the same time, working with an LA or a New York coach for a first demo and spending $2,000 or more is largely unnecessary at the beginning. Yes, all of us do. We all work from home in some way, shape, or form. The grand majority of our time is spent in our home offices and our home studios. No, not unless you are already in a related area. Not unless you are an actor, a singer, a musician, a broadcaster of some kind. If you're an accountant currently and trying to break into voiceovers, doing it part-time is going to be incredibly challenging and very, very difficult. Most people continue to work their day job while training in voiceover, and then at some point, around the time they complete their basic training, they decide to go into voiceover full-time, and that's how you're going to see the best reward and the best possible career situation. Yes, you have to purchase, maintain, and operate your own recording facility and your own equipment. Voiceover actors are also studio owners and audio engineers and audio editors. So there's a lot of specialized technology that goes into what we do. Anywhere between $1,500 and $5,000 is a typical investment for a home studio. It can get much higher than that, but it doesn't have to. It all depends on the type of equipment you buy, the platform that you're working off of, and really the type of investment that you want to make. You will. Occasionally, we do leave our home studios and we get asked to go to a studio in town somewhere. Once in a while, we get asked to travel to a different part of the country. But for the most part, about 75% of the work that most voice actors do is done from home. It largely depends on the area of voiceover that you specialize in. That determines a lot as to what percentage or how much of your work can be done from home. Typically, animation actors and movie trailer voice actors, they don't. They travel to studios, usually in the Los Angeles area, and work from there, even though they do maintain a home studio as well. Voiceover is not a one-size-fit-all term. It's actually an umbrella. There's lots and lots and lots of individual types of voiceover that fall under the umbrella of voiceover, and no two voiceover actors have the exact same career. We all specialize in different areas of voiceover, and so it's really important for you to know what those different areas are, what appeals to you, what your voice is well suited for, and that's a lot of what you spend time training for, is to understand that we're really an industry that's made up of about a dozen or so individual industries, and you have to find your home. It's kind of like being a doctor. It's not enough in voiceover to just say, I want to be a voice actor. I want to be a doctor. Well, great. What kind of medicine do you want to practice? Sort of the same thing. It's not really. There are just different avenues and different pathways that someone can take within this industry to find their success. And that's one of the things that makes voiceover so fulfilling, is that there are so many different types of voiceover, between commercials, narration, animation, TV promo, radio imaging, e-learning, industrial work. The list goes on and on. So it makes for some very exciting opportunities. A great voiceover coach is also a working talent, someone who can help to guide you based on their personal experience, someone who's well-versed in teaching and educating others, and someone who has a proven track record, who has previous students that they've worked with and success stories, who can help you to, again, understand all of the ins and outs of the industries, as well as the performance aspects of voiceover. The right coach for you is all about personality fit. There's different coaches that specialize in different things, but ultimately it's about their approach, their unique perspective, and the way that they view the industry. You want to find someone that speaks to you, whose methods you understand, and align yourself with that person. There are greatly different personality types. There are coaches in this industry that are very encouraging, very mild, very caring in the way that they go about things. I call them the mom coaches. And then there are others who are brutally honest and challenge you and can really be a swift kick in the ass. So you just have to see what method makes sense for you and find the right person. Coaches can be anywhere in the country. So sometimes to work with the best coach, you have to be prepared to travel. Occasionally you'll find someone in your backyard, but not usually. Typically you're going to either work with a coach remotely, or you are going to have to go to wherever they are. I can be contacted through my website, GabrielleNistico.com. I offer free consultations and chats with aspiring voice actors and those who want to consult with me about my services. We can schedule a call time pretty much whenever it's convenient for you, so I can answer your questions and we can talk more candidly about the voiceover industry. My website also has a plethora of resources regarding my training and coaching, the services that I offer, website development, demo creation, and it just has a lot of free information as well. So I recommend spending a lot of time with it, looking at the frequently asked questions area, as well as the get started sections, which is probably where you found this video. I look forward to speaking with you, and I wish you well in your voiceover endeavors.